Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. He conquers the markets, he turns water into wine. His timing flows where chaos turns divine. Cut sharp enough to time the sign. Yeah, this man's no common trader. He commands the market's numbers. We call him Chef Bailey. The market bends beneath his flame. Fear and greed run through the wire. Candles climb and then expire. Our edges cut from deep profile, sharp and clean by every buyer. Markets move, they twist and swing. Every tick can burn or bring. Ryan keeps calm, he trusts his thing. The charts tell him everything. But when T1 makes ding, 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 the futures spread their hidden wing. And he is ready for anything. Vic's still looking like a restless king.
Still trying to trade alone? Time to surround yourself with winners and conquer the markets. Join the 5-star rated trading Discord, where pros, futures traders, and crypto killers sharpen their edge daily. Daily plans, live calls, alerts, and trading tools. Join free today. No credit card, no BS.
Yo, what's up? I'm back, baby, and we are settled in. It is nice to be home. It is nice to be making some money. And I tell you what, I don't know if anybody else is feeling like this is summer trading, but damn, is it slow. My gracious, all this crazy squeeze, and all we do is grindy, grindy, grindy. Well, the plans led us to the correct spot today. Took us right to 70.61, which was the key for and the goal for the day, which we damn near nailed perfectly as the high. But my gracious, I tell you what, summer trading is coming early, and I'm not liking it. And it's funny. Had some guys in the room today. One of them's in here now. We were trading together in the Discord this morning. He goes, man, whoever invented this positive gamma shit, he's like, it's terrible. It is, right? We go from negative gamma to having all kinds of volatility, 100-point days, swinging, got both directions going. Everything was good, and now we're back positive gamma regime, and things suck. The street sucks. So it is crazy. And this is a prelude, unfortunately, of what is going to come this summer. This is pretty common stuff. We're surfing all-time highs again. I cannot believe it. Guys, this was not in my bingo card for the month at all. At all. I got to tell you, this is the most insane squeeze. I mean, we have not had one meaningful rotation in 2.5 weeks. This is absolutely asinine. Our biggest rotation was the gap down we had on Sunday. That was it. Unfreaking real. And they just continue to accept value in the overnight sessions and just gap and go on our asses in the morning. So unbelievable. Jerry, good to see you. Jim K, Bryce in the house, baby. Bun, what's up, brother? Got some people on X and YouTube as well. Hello to all. Man, Bryce, I'll tell you what, man, the Discord it's a good thing that we're sitting on stream in there, because I would be wanting to blow my brains out otherwise. Because talk about slow time trading. You and I were in that long. I got back in, by the way, after you got off. We came back. We played that 4 hour. We played 22 again. I got back in it. Was in it for like another hour and a half. Took it all the way up and then shorted the highs. It's crazy. We'll go over it. But Sandra, good to see you. Absolutely pleasure. As long as we continue to, again, positive gamma, right? Positive gamma. And we haven't lost on any time frame. If anything, we're still gaining. Now there's nothing else to gain, obviously, except the weekly. The weekly hasn't closed yet. But, at this point, we're fucking all-time highs, right? So, yeah, the stream does help, Bryce. I admit. it takes some of the edge off, brother. I agree with you completely. So good stuff had by all. Guys, I have a few things I want to talk to you about today. And before I do that, let's just do what we always do, right? If you are new to this whole thing, if this is your first time here, please make sure that you like and follow me across all the socials. Guys, I'm putting out all kinds of jewels in here between the trade plans and what I do on Twitter, X, Substack, whatever you want to call it, whatever your social media flavor of choice is. I'm putting out the hits out there. I mean, a lot of this stuff is just free alpha. Guys, the reason that it's interesting, unless you shit post, you don't get a lot of impressions. I don't shit post, y'all. I just don't. If you want alpha, follow me. It's that simple. And retweet and share it with your friends so they can make some money too. That's what I do. I'm too old to shit post. I don't have time for it. I'm trying to make some money. So with that being said, also got some good indicators on TradingView. For those of you who don't know, if you get the trade plans and you use TradingView, go download the trade plan companion. There's a little string at the end. You just grab the string, put it in the indicator. Whoop, it just puts everything on your chart for you. Simplifies your morning prep so nicely. I think I have it on mine right now. I'll show you what it looks like. Yep, here it is right here. Check this out. This is what the levels were drawn today for ES, and it is called the S&P Edge Levels, the trade plan companion. Draws them super nice. Look at that. Brought us right up to that call wall there at 70.61. Absolutely beautiful. Here's the long that Bryce and I took on the double tap, which we'll soon get into right now, which was part of the plan today. So before I do that, guys, I want to plug one person. And this is not a shameless plug, by the way. This is a friend of mine who wasn't a friend of mine to start with. Okay, this is my trading coach. I've talked about him before. I've done a couple podcasts with him. I actually have done a second podcast with him. If you guys haven't watched it, you should check it out. He's not only my trading coach, but he's my hypnotherapist. Okay, the guy trades futures. He's awesome. His name is Nathan Gist. I'm trying to plug his ass here because I don't get anything for this. Just to let you know, this guy is just good, right? If you are a trader and you are wanting to take your performance to the next level, for those of you who have been doing this a long time, you will know right away that, there's 1,000 ways to make money in this game. Your head is 80% of the problem. And Nathan is really good about getting that correct. And, I still have issues. I have like a once a month or once every other month mental oil change. We call it an oil change. Need a lube. You know what I mean? So I definitely suggest you check this guy out. I put a link in the comments on both Substack and YouTube. You should be able to see it. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys what this looks like. I suggest everyone sign up for this. I'm going to be there tomorrow. It's tomorrow at 6 p.m. You just register right here, and it's just a landing page, whatever. Go to this. And tomorrow at 6 p.m., he's not going to try to sell you anything. I mean, he just wants to talk about psychology. This guy is really, really good. I support this guy's cause 1,000%. I talk to him on a regular basis. Yes, I pay him. I pay him all the time. But for me, it's worth it. We've become friends, and he's excellent at what he does. He actually is one of the leads in the whole hypnotherapy community. He runs the whole Vegas when they do their annual thing. So pretty good stuff. If you get a chance, you should watch the podcast. I actually did a really good podcast with him. We go into the whole mental side. And what's interesting is we actually did it directly after him and I did a hypnotherapy session. So let me show you what that looks like here real fast. If you guys get a chance, go to the S&P Edge here, scroll down. Let's see. I think he is, where's he at? Right here. Here's the post right here. It's also on Twitter, and YouTube. But you should check this out. It's called The Unsexy Part of Trading Nobody Talks About. It was just like 45 minutes of him and I shooting the shit right after a hypnotherapy session. I highly recommend Nate. He's dope. And this is going to be a great event for everybody tomorrow. It's his first one, guys. So take it easy on the guy. Only call him names once or twice. Don't continue to beat him, kick him while he's down. No, I'm just kidding. But Nate's my homie, man. You guys will get a lot of value out of this. And trading psychology is a big deal. So I know I pay good money for it. So I've been doing it a long time. I'm all about performance. And so I know what I know. I know what I need, and I need him, and I need or somebody like him. He's actually my second hypnotherapist, guys. Number two. So my first guy retired. He was actually a CTA trader. He turned hypnotherapist. He was actually the #1 CTA trader in Illinois, believe it or not. Unbelievable guy. He retired, moved to Japan or something like that. Anyways, he's an Asian dude chasing other Asian chicks around in his prime. I love it. My man. Anyways, all right. So, all right, let's get into it. Enough beating around the bush. All right, so time to talk about the trade plan, guys. And then we're going to talk about what's coming next, because I've been getting a lot of people ask me, like, what now? What's going to happen? We're in the middle of a war and we're all-time highs. Listen, I think it's crazy shit too. I told you, I didn't think it was on the bingo card, but here we are, right? So here we go with the trade plan. The very top, right? All-time highs are within reach and positive gamma fuel, right? So anytime we're in positive gamma fuel, if you're a subscriber, you have already gotten the 10-day challenge and the checklist. We have a little thing on there that talks about the positive gamma, negative gamma. Negative gamma means expansion and volatility. Positive gamma means we are essentially trending and grinding and going higher in range. And that is like the long and the short of it. So we're breaking down the 7,003 daily above below pivot, which is where we started today, right? And the 722 last resistance before all-time highs. Laid it out right there. Boom. All you got to do. You really don't even have to read any farther than the title most of the time. I know it sounds crazy, but it's true. So we had that massive daily of 7,003 that we played for 15 points yesterday. You guys recall that was the very high of the day yesterday as they pushed up. They closed below it. However, in the overnight session, they were drifting above it, right? And they were currently sitting directly at this level. We find ourselves drifting back and forth between the significant daily and the important options levels. For those of you guys who marked the options levels, we were literally sitting right between a pivot and a call wall all morning for it must have been for 6 or 7 hours. They were just distributing in a sideways fashion. And once again, price accepts value at the highs. Now, guys, if you're ever confused, because I can't tell you guys how to trade. First off, I wouldn't want to, because I'm not always right? But I have my bias, of course. It's my trade plan. Of course I have a bias. I lead little examples here, right? Positive, all-time highs are within reach, right? And I say things like all-time highs is within spitting distance, or even certain things like, once again, price accepts value at the highs. What are we doing? If we're accepting value, that means we're accepting value to what? Move higher, right? And do it again. And that's what they've been doing over and over and over again. If you guys noticed, we push up, we go sideways in the overnight session for the most part, and then they push up again. That's because that is them essentially accepting value. When we push up and we pull back, that's not accepting value. If we push up and we stay there, there's a good chance that we're going to move higher, more than likely, at least temporarily. So with that being said, that's a good little cue for you guys. And here you go. We squeezed into all-time highs, right? So already predicting all-time highs, and it really wasn't a hard prediction, right? We were only a half a point away from the all-time highs in SPX. We were about 40 points away, whatever. But, we really had our sights set on that just because of the way that we were squeezing. I mean, this is an undeniable move. What is up, Costas? It's good to see you, brother. Glad to see you're here. So anyways, let's get into it. So the SPX closed within 0.5% of the all-time high yesterday. It has been a 10% squeeze to the upside in 3 weeks, really 2.5. Unfreaking real, right? So they retraced everything that we did. It took us a couple months to come down without a single meaningful rotation. This is still mind-blowing to me. Squeezes, I hate squeezes. Hate them with a passion. It's not that I don't mind getting long and riding trend. I just hate that they never pull back so I can get on the damn thing, right? So anyways, haven't had a meaningful rotation. And, we continue to drift sideways this morning, accepting value, even at a higher level with the daily at 7,003. This will be our major above-below pivot for the day. I think that's pretty simple, don't you guys? It was not only in the subtitle, it's also here. So listen, we're looking to break out above 722, which should take us all the way into all-time highs. Use 7,003 as your major above-below pivot and your monthly on VIX around 1744. That, my friends, that played perfect today. It was crazy. We were watching it. Bryce and I were like, damn, it got a sweet ass pop. Popped 6% off that thing today. It was crazy, but it was still not enough given how far we were pulled back in the VIX to actually do anything meaningful. It did keep us suppressed and moving sideways for a time until finally it accepted value and pushed higher. So we'll go ahead and get into this. So we have that SPX needed to break above 69.76, which we're going to talk about. Again, super important, guys. I am using SPX as the jizzle for the guide. That is just how it is. And again, we were only 25 points from the all-time highs on SPX, which was, that was the call of the wild there, baby. I was not about to let that get away from me. So, 25 points, they were sniffing that joint. So we continue to drift higher. It's been a very difficult trading. I'm here to admit that. I know I've had a lot of people in the room who are upset. They're like, oh, I don't know what I'm doing wrong. It's like, you're not doing shit wrong. We haven't pulled back. Sometimes it's just how it is, right? So not being able to catch a pullback leaves you feeling like you're buying the highs. This has been the constant theme all week, right? It has made trading extremely difficult for a lot of people. Now is not the time to break your patience or your cycle. We will continue to pop right up and make new all-time highs right now. But we have a process to oblige to. Guys, process over everything. Process. And I'm going to show you how we played the process today twice. We were actually able to make it work. Once on the breakout above 22, once on the retest. And we wait for a proper level to reclaim, and the confirmed buyers have stepped in. Stick to the process. Trade the plan. And what I really want to know is, for all my subscribers out there, and we have quite a few of them now, for all you subscribers, you guys have all gotten the 10-day challenge pack. Are you guys doing this? Are you actually trading the plan and only the plan? Please tell me you are. Please. When you guys fill this out and send it to me, I'm going to give you a free week just for doing it. But for God's sakes, do yourself a favor and just trade the plan. It's only 10 days, right? It's only 10 days. That's all I ask of you. Do yourself this favor. It will change your life. Okay? All right. So back into it. Let's get back to it. All right. So here we go. Time for the next one. Let's see. I don't think I didn't actually label these really nice. Okay, guys, let's see if I can do this without being all screwy here. Let's go ahead and just do VIX first. Why not? Right. So we're going to talk about VIX, and I'm actually going to skip all the bullshit. I actually tried to cut a lot of stuff out. We're going to just talk about, this is the way VIX looked this morning when we opened the charts here at about 7 a.m. What's up, Shane? Good to see you. And really we've talked about this, right? We were below the 2470 monthly from a high time frame perspective. That leaves us extremely suppressed in VIX. And then once again, we had our next level at 2078. And you guys remember when VIX was actually when we finally entered the $20 handle? I'm like, oh my God, we're in the $20 handle, $21 handle. And that's really when the volatility started. Right. But think about what happened. Now we've basically pushed underneath the $21 handle, right? Underneath the 21 or 2078, which is like our big level, right? Right here, the significant weekly, right? And as you can tell, like even little pops and VIX aren't doing shit, right? Because the $20 handle means a lot for us, right? So we have a tested monthly support at 1744 that'll be interesting as we approach. So here is the 1744. As you can see, we came right down, damn near played it to the tick, and we popped off of it really nice today. This is what me and Bryce were talking about in the stream. We were like, holy shit, this thing is really ripping. And the thing is it didn't do anything to the ES. Not really. I mean, it kept us from like pushing into the all-time highs, and we kind of based sideways. And they did pull back for a retest, whatever. But it wasn't like, I mean, a 4% move in the VIX or 5% move. You're expecting like ES to like get nailed. But just because of how low we are down here. But hey, listen, I wanted to show you guys. It played, and it played beautiful, and we're still holding it, by the way, just to show you guys what's cooking here. I'll pull this over real fast. Actually, this is the end of the day shot. So we're still holding it. We'll see what happens when we wake up in the morning, what we're doing. And this will be really interesting because I'm actually going to go into my perspective for tomorrow because I have a lot of guys who catch this on replay who are subscribers. And so I like to be able to talk about this, about my thoughts for tomorrow, because it's hard to get it all on a trade plan. Even the trade plans are very verbose, but I feel like this is a little bit more detailed. So we've talked about VIX. And then, okay, let's go ahead and talk about SPX. I think this is important, guys. So this was one of the big ones. I'm going to go ahead and just pull this down here so we can see what's up. So we had all-time highs up here at 7,002. Here is our big daily I talked about at 69.76. And again, this is the same spot that I read earlier. We're less than 0.5% from all-time highs on SPX. We have a big daily at 69.76.48. Here it is, right here. A push above this, are you ready for it? Would almost confirm a break into all-time highs at 7,002. I think we all established what happened here because I'm just going to go ahead and pull this open for you. Look, so we actually opened above this. As you can see, this was the opening candle, pulled back into the gap fill from yesterday, and then we stayed above it all day, which essentially brought us into new all-time highs and higher. Now, was this an easy hold? Absolutely not. It wasn't an easy hold. I know that because I was with Bryce and about 20 other people all holding our longs in the Discord stream, and it took forever. It looks way easier in hindsight, let me tell you that. But, with that being said, the plan's still the plan. It's really not about the time frame or how long it takes. It's about trading the chart. And if you traded the chart, you made it work perfectly. So again, we actually took some profits up here right at 7,000-ish, and then took some more after we made the highs. But this is kind of, I want to show you guys exactly how the trade plan played. You know, when I wrote this out, the idea was to break out above 69.76. Well, we actually opened above it, back tested, filled the gap, and then continued to truck higher. That's all you needed to see. It was time to get long, right? And I'm not saying to get long on ES just because SPX, but we had a lot of reasons to do that. So, you know, we'll talk about that here shortly, but that is essentially VIX and that's SPX. And that really puts us in a very nice position here. So I'm going to go ahead and show you two trades that we took today in the room. We actually had this right here in the trade plan, and we've talked about this, as you guys know. This is the last resistance before all-time highs. This is the 70.2275. And actually, I want to show you guys something else too. We'll do this first. And so if they pop above this, they'll more than likely be pushing for all-time highs. It's a very significant and tested daily. We need to be above. Breakout above 70.22 should take us all the way to all-time highs. Look for acceptance above this as a confirmation for the breakout. And you can see clearly here, guys, we were long above this daily here once we had confirmation. We actually did a little back test here, and that's when I ended up grabbing into this. And actually added a few more times and whatever. But we took our first profits right here at this call wall, which happened to be an amazing spot. For those of you guys who are, you know, using the trade plans, I hope you are loving these options levels. They are so freaking good. It's crazy. It is crazy, crazy, crazy. Good job, Rob. Rob is the man when it comes to the mathematics, and he created something amazing for us. So this was our first ride up to here. And as you can see, I was trying to get all the way to 70.60, which is exactly where we ended up at. So that was gangster shit. And that was just a hell of a hold, I got to be honest. So let's go ahead and get into the next one. This one actually developed after the fact. We had another 4-hour level at 70.21 that I was able to take advantage of. Actually, me and Kay took it. The guy in my room took advantage of that on the pullback. This was later on in the afternoon. We came back. As you can see, we played this 70.41 almost perfect. See that call wall right there? Almost perfectly, but they missed it. They came down. We were able to grab this. The moment they basically held this, you know, I got back in. I'm like, okay, here's VWAP. Let me buy above this. Let me buy. And then, of course, we were able to get in and, you know, scale out into it towards all-time highs at that point. So we actually got a double dip on that when we bought the breakout above 22, and then we got the retest when we came down into 22 with the VWAP. We knew they were going to hold at that point, and we looked, you know, obviously for more progression to the upside. Now, I'm going to show you guys a trade. Now, this is a very experienced trade here, and I saw Bryce actually comment on this or leave a little emoji, you know, at the end of the day in my channel. And so I want to talk about this. And Bryce, this is something that this is out of process, bro. Okay. But I want to talk about this trade because this is something that you will see a lot, especially in the summer months. Okay. So I took a trade at the end of the day, right? I took this fade off of the options level. And I have talked many times about how we do not trade these options levels as levels. They are strictly for confluence or for targets. And 99% of the time, that is true. That's how I feel. Well, so here's the deal. Once we started, we had been grinding, slow-mo grinding all day, right? All afternoon. Again, no pullbacks, just going super, you know, far. When you see this happen and they grind all the way into the close, I'm talking about all the way. It's 349. They're still pushing the highs. Right. And we had an options level here. That's why I started to get short. I said, you know what, this is done. I'm willing to risk 5 points or whatever it was. I don't remember what it was. I don't even think that stop was right, but whatever, it doesn't matter. I was willing to risk a little bit of money here because we were coming into the close. We had not had a pullback. We had some serious inefficiencies in the profile. We had a lot of inefficiencies as you guys can see in this picture. I was actually trying to get all the way down in here to 51 and 43 to clean these singles up. It just didn't happen. Okay, it just didn't happen. But I made some good money. I made 8 points on this, so I'm not complaining. But Bryce, this is a trade that you'll notice that is out of process, but it's something that happens very, very frequently. You look for the slow, grindy, trend up days that are basically squeezing everybody's balls the entire day. And then when you get up here, they start firing off some stupid ass size. Look at all this size towards the end of the day. This is generally when you get your pullback. Okay. I did not initiate this short, as you know, until basically almost the close. It was like 5 minutes or 10 minutes towards the close. I think I got short somewhere around 345. So anyways, I was able to, they popped one more high. I smacked it one more time and it came back down. And then unfortunately they did not get my final targets, but I made 8 points. And so life is good on that. But that was the final trade, using that options vol level as kind of the ceiling for me and understanding, that kind of low grindy, low volume ordeal. So if you were wondering why I was short at the end of the day, Bryce, that was it. It's just something that I've noticed over the years. It's actually a trade that I think is extremely good, but it only works on the days that you are just slow, painful, and grindy. And at the end of the day, just smack that bitch because it's coming down, right? And it doesn't really get smoked or anything, but you might make 10, 15 points. You know what I mean? And if you've been looking for a trade all day, it's a good one. So, something to keep in mind. But again, you got to keep your risk in check. I don't recommend going very large because we're not really fading structure, right? We're at all-time highs. We're discovering, et cetera, whatever. So you'll see that trade actually, I do that a little bit more frequently than I probably should, but it works. So with that being said, that's what's up. So now I guess let's talk about tomorrow, right? So let's go ahead and pull this up. So guys, before I get to that, I wanted to tell you I got some exciting stuff coming up. We are introducing our letter of direction program tomorrow. I'm actually going to host my own webinar on it in probably a week or two. Fully automated stuff. It's sick. Our first strategy that we're releasing is amazing. It's already done 28% this year on a $10,000 account. We're really trucking. And so you guys definitely look for that email. I'm going to be blasting that out as I do this webinar. We're going to hold our first one tomorrow, and then I'm going to hold one exclusively for Team VG people in probably like the next week or so. It's only got 50 seats. Once it's gone, it's over with. So I'm pretty excited about it. Rob and I are pretty excited. We are running all these algorithms on cash accounts, prop accounts. We're doing everything we can do. And now we're going to give you guys the opportunity to run some of these, at least the first 50 people, because it does have capacity constraints. So kind of excited to bring that to you guys. So something to look forward to. Keep an eye out for those emails, et cetera, et cetera. All right. So let's go ahead and get into tomorrow, right? So here's the deal, guys. And I hope that you can see this chart. We were talking about it on the stream a little bit. There's only a couple good places to buy here. We are really pushing up crazy high. We have a massive amount of inefficiencies as far as I'm concerned. We have this huge gap down here. They ended up filling this in, which we talked about previously earlier in the week. But now even this current profile, we just have a shit ton of inefficiencies in this market. They really need to get cleaned up at some point. And I'm not going to say that, oh my God, we're going to pull back. This is it. This means that they're so fucked and we're, whatever. That does not mean that. I'm just saying that this area is clearly on my mind. I can see how important this is. And it's truly, really like right in this particular, right underneath this area is where shit gets real. So for those of you guys who are following the trade plans, I basically said underneath 69, 61, this is where I do not want to see us really get below as things really shift really, really hard. So I'm going to pull up my pen just to show you guys. And I'm also going to bring down the daily time frame here just to show you what's up. I really only have 2 buy spots. Well, 3. I have 3 buy spots, honestly. But, things shift fast under certain locations. And I'm going to show you exactly what I'm talking about here. Okay, so this is my first untested daily right here. Of course, my pen doesn't work. Brett, fucking unbelievable. Unfucking believable. Hang on. Sorry. Nothing's worse than something you pay for and it doesn't work ever, whenever you want it. If I didn't care, if I wasn't on the stream, it worked fine. So we have this daily here at 70.22.75. This is our first and major support that we need to kind of keep tabs on. The reason that I say that, guys, is because we already tested 7,003 yesterday. And actually, this was at the open today. And speaking of 7,003, before I get, look at me, I'm already all over the place. So I just wanted to show you. We talked about 7,003 guys in the trade plan. This was it. This was the 7,003 that we played in yesterday's overnight, and we hovered around it all morning, and then we broke out above this. This is the acceptance at 7,003 that I was speaking about in the trade plan. before we pushed higher. And then, of course, this was the 22 that we needed to break out above, which we did, which took us right to 61. So I wanted to explain this test right here, explain this acceptance, quote unquote, acceptance above 7,003, etc. Okay. So that now this level is very much tested. Okay. So 7,003 is wiped. All right. So we have 22. If they pull back to 22, I'm buying this. Okay. Absolutely buying it. We have a untested daily there. They actually did test the 4 hour at 2150. So that is gone. So I'll get rid of that. Doesn't matter. But with that being said, if this doesn't play, we now have basically one level underneath that. We have 7,008 right here, which is kind of all right. It's all right. It's all right. Like, I wouldn't deny it, but the thing is it's right here at 7,003. So your risk to reward is really nice. You got a 5-point risk on this. It either works. It either comes down here and plays this and like reclaims, or it doesn't. It just comes down, right? So 5-point risk, I like that a lot, right? But my main buy spot, honestly, is this 22 right here, the 22.75. This is it, because underneath this and truly underneath 08, and it's really underneath 03, this thing comes all the way down to this weekly here, guys, at 69.77. And I do like this spot. And the reason I like this spot is for a few reasons. So check this out. So we have these singles right here at 80, right? So we have this at 77. So this brings us down. We clean up these singles. We play the weekly. And then we reclaim, something at that point. You'll have to look in the trade plan. It was in the trade plan today. Let's just say they reclaim 84, and then we can squeeze back higher, right? So, and then the last spot that I want to buy is right here at 61.75, the daily. And guess what's down here? More singles, right? More singles all the way to 62. So this cleans up these singles. It actually cleans up this entire profile. And if it holds this daily, we want to see it reclaim the 4 hour at 66, and then the weekly, and then we can push higher. But again, underneath this, it looks rough, and it looks really rough. And so, I'm not saying at that point, we could come down and we're still quote unquote trending up, because, there is some really good spots below, but it's way lower, right? Like I would not be opposed to buying this area down here, right in here. Right. So we have a daily leg up at 34, right? We've had this area right here, this daily leg up at 34. We've got this weekly at 96, these areas over here. I would be game for buying all this. But again, things shift really fast, and you got to be really careful, because, it really happens underneath 61. Now we have an untested 4 hour at 51.50. I don't really like it. I'm not a huge fan. That's why I just keep saying underneath 61, shit gets real. We have a large weekly, well, it's not large, it's not that large, but it is big enough that they would probably want to come get it. This is a big TPO gap. And again, 28's tested too. So underneath 61, we can fill this gap. This daily's tested. It could come all the way down to 68.96. That's pretty fucking far, right? So what are we talking about? What are we talking about here? 70 points. I mean, it's like 60, 70 points, right? If we don't hold 69, 61. So again, like I was saying here, there's a ton of inefficiencies in this entire profile. They really, really, really want to stay, or really, honestly, in my opinion, they want to stay above. If we're going to continue this push up, we need to stay above 7,000. Okay. And I think you can see that in this profile. You see all this volume right here. Look at this. 69.90 is the point of control. 69.90 is like this area right here. We want to stay above this, right, to continue our push higher. And ultimately, I'm looking at like 08 to 20s, and that makes perfect sense. Okay, that fills in this little area right here. But really, shit gets real underneath this area. And it's really underneath, like, just like the profile says, technically speaking, you could say on the weekly profile, shit gets real under 90. And it kind of does, right? And this is that daily at 03 I was telling you, because you lose 03, we're going to come all the way down to the weekly. If the weekly doesn't hold, we're going to come to 61. 61, I think, will play. It's just about what can it reclaim. So that's what we're looking at, guys. Right now, there's no reason to short this thing. Absolutely no reason. If anything, we are only looking for longs at this point. We are in price discovery mode. The moment they broke out above the all-time highs, and you could see it right here on SPX, I think you could see it the best. I'll go ahead and just zoom this in. The moment we broke out above all-time highs, you can clearly see that they just started pushing up much higher. We actually missed it by 30 cents. Then they popped it, and then they came back down. And once they got a little mojo, it was over with. and we just started squeezing up another 25 points. So we have really no reason to short this level, or to short this thing. If anything, we want to buy this. There is a really nice buy spot, in my opinion, at 27, and it's a 1 hour level. And I normally don't get excited about 1 hour levels, but I do like this level at 27. I do kind of like the 08, but really what I like is the 2275. So with that being said, I kind of laid it out for you guys. We talked about everything. I think it'll be interesting to see where we open in the morning. Make sure you sign up for my man Nate's trader thing tomorrow. It's going to be awesome. I'm looking forward to it. The link is in the descriptions, and it's also in the chats, et cetera, et cetera. So you guys have an excellent day. Anybody who followed the plan, I know you had a good day. We had a good day. I should show you the scoreboard, but it's just Bryce and everybody else making money again. So good job, Bryce. Way to make your G as usual. And I will see you guys tomorrow as we continue to conquer the markets. Same time, same channel, 5 p.m. And trade plan will be out 8:30. Cheers.